Welcome back to Chastastic Gaming. I'm Chastastic and today I'm going to play Alien Storm. Now, Alien Storm was an arcade game from 1990. Of course, Sega being very well known for their arcade games in the late 80s and early 90s with games like Streets of Rage. It was actually Streets of Rage wasn't really so much, that was more for a home release. Games like Golden Axe and Outrun and things like that. I think that this may have actually been made on the Golden Axe engine. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm pretty sure that might be the case. This wasn't just ported over to the Mega Drive, it was ported over to the Atari ST, the Amiga, and pretty much every toaster that existed back then. Well, except for the Nintendo, as you can imagine. So, in this game you get a pick of one of three characters, and there's Karen or Carla, depending on which version of the game you're playing. There's Scooter or Slammer the robot, and Garth or Gordon, the man in the red, which the game has decided that I'm going to select. This game isn't very long actually, it's only about, I think, 7 missions long, and each of the missions aren't very long. So, the idea behind... Whoa. So, I just, instead of using my attack button, I just went and used my special. So you have a special attack, which you've seen where that helicopter just appeared. A special attack, your regular attack, and a roll button. So you can't actually jump, but you can roll, which is quite useful for evading enemies. One thing that I will say, if you were paying attention, I've put the game on easy for 2 reasons. One being, all of your weapon actually uses up ammo or energy, especially later on in the game. This becomes more and more scarce and harder to find. So there's 2 difficulty modes in this. There's difficulty mode for the game itself, and there's the difficulty mode for the energy, so how much energy you actually use for using your gun. So I've just put that all right down. Well, got to avoid these weird mouth things with all the faces. So the gameplay actually changes up a little bit in here. So we're in this sort of first person perspective. So we've got to shoot all the aliens, or we can shoot all the objects as well, because as you can find energy tanks inside them, as well as sometimes power, which is very useful. Oh, well. So for some reason they turn into these mad conker looking things, the aliens, and then they jump towards the screen. You've got to hit them before they hit the screen, otherwise you get hurt. Fairly simple. Let's see. Oh, for some reason I got hurt there. Don't let him get past. And that's the level over. As I said, really simple, really fast. So we've got to expel the aliens. You've been expelled from high school. That's what you get for vandalizing the class. Okay, so these wee guys, so as with a lot of early games, colour swapped enemies just means they're slightly stronger, doesn't it? I think there's the first colour you saw, which is the lighter, there's the first colour you saw, then there's the slightly darker shade. I think there's the blue ones as well, which are the strongest ones. Oh, don't you? It's these little gremlin things, and have you noticed when he tried to eat me there, he's got that weird, that weird xenomorph tongue? The bins that are slugs. Oh, slugs, snails. Slugs and snails are different. I need to make that distinction. Oh, this abandoned house that they were gnawing on the walls. So as you, like, anyone who's who knows a lot about especially Golden Axe and things will realise that there's more than, whoa. So this is the first boss. Oh. Well, so he's fairly simple, as you can imagine. Most first bosses normally are. Well, so he shoots from his tail and his front. But if you get him at the front, he does also attack with his eyes. He shoots these things out his eyes, as you can see there. So we just need to make sure that we don't get hit by it. Oh. So we've been doing quite well in terms of health, but to be fair, we've got to be honest, it is on easy right now. Can't let it hit us, because it seems his beam seems to also, whoa, the beam also does seem to incapacitate us for a moment. Oh. So, don't you dare! There we go. And now he turns into these little flies. These flies contain energy pellets, similar to that you find in Battletoads, the weird pixels that you find in Battletoads. Again, another little change up of the gameplay. This is a running shooting level. So we just got to just shoot all the enemies and try not to die and get to the end of the stage. For some odd reason, these weird mouth things morph into these have wings, and the little gremlin guys turn into these weird spider things. I don't know. Well, and avoid their breath, because apparently they've got the worst breath. They need some Listerine. I'm really forgetting how short this game actually is. I mean, we're really getting on our way. So we're on our way to the alien's nest, the convenience store, also known as Walmart. Let's get them out of Walmart. Ah! So these guys sort of strangle you and take you into the air, and there's not really anything you can do about it. Oh, get away from me. So we're doing okay for energy, but you may notice that even though apparently we're on easy for energy, we've never hit a lot of it. We've never had a lot of energy. It's still been quite low. If we run out of energy altogether, we then have to start. We then basically have to use our weapon as a club and batter them with the actual gun itself, as opposed to shooting them with a gun. People are screaming for help. We need to save them from right. These blue guys are the worst. Get away from me. They've got really weird faces. Are they supposed to be eyes on those antennae? Because I've never really looked at the sprites that closely. Okay, and into the convenience store. It's the same as this. Let's try not to shoot anyone. Oh. There's a little bit more going on than there was in the first level, as you can see. They're jumping from everywhere. And I'm just shooting everything, collateral damage. Trying not to hit the family. I don't know if you can actually hurt them. I can imagine you wouldn't be able to hurt them, because this was that would not have been a good thing for Sega to have done back then, with the whole violence and the whole video games being marketed at children back then, especially. Oh, I've just realised my health is a little on the low side. Okay, Duel in broad daylight. So we've got to save them outside the hotel. Lost life. Yeah, one thing about this is you have your lives, you have one life and that's you, then you're on to your continues, 3 continues and then it's game over. Pharmacy that's closed. For some odd reason the convenience store's open, the electronics store that we're about to go and save people are in is open, but the pharmacy is not. Help, help, help! Sega Electronics Store. That would have like 4 things in it. Well, in saying that, no, I was about to say there was that TV with the built-in Mega Drive, but that would be a total lie. It was the built-in Famicom. It wasn't a Sega product at all. I should probably get my facts straight before I go saying anything. So weird. I think it was Philips that made those. And then they made one, but it only was released in Japan with a Super Famicom on it. Which would have been really cool. I'd have loved something like that. In fact, I think when I was younger, I did always wonder why you just didn't have a telly with a built-in Sega. I think this is the last level of this type. These levels are good because they're really, really generous on items. Oh, and then we got our first lot of health. And because it's really generous on items, it gets our energy way back up as well. Which is something we use a lot of in this level. Oh. Go away! Insurance companies must hate me! Stock Mega Drive screaming sounds. Where are all the enemies? Was this part supposed to build up suspense? To be fair, there is a lot of, like, especially when I was younger, this was absolute madness. There is a lot going on when there is stuff going on. There we go. So, save the laboratory. Now this level sort of introduces stage hazards. Oh, now we've realised that the aliens are impersonating people. Whatever shall we do? Okay. Oh. So, as I said before, we've got some stage hazards now, so we've got these lasers. I'm not 100% sure if they hurt the enemy. Let's find out. Oh. Trying to prompt him into the laser beam. Oh, so they were all in laboratory 2. Yep. I think it's a lot like Golden Axe as well, in the sense that you can avoid most attacks just by running away and sort of catching them. Whoa, these guys are jumping now, getting a little bit more aggressive. Oh. Get away from me! So all the faces on those aliens. Oh. Whoa, that was a bit cheap. Didn't even have a chance to get away from you there. Okay. Oh wait, no, I was incorrect. There's another one here. All the brains. Doesn't really make any sense why they've got so many brains. Brains. Pinky and the brain. Oh, he is slashing us. So we've got palette swapped aliens from the first level. They're all just slightly darker colours, so that must mean they're more menacing. Oh. We've covered everything. So is it just that guy left? Try not to use up all our energy. There we go. Nightcrawler. It doesn't look like a crawler, it looks like it's flying, it's floating, to be honest. Boom! It's looking like the night... that is not kidding anyone, that's obviously an alien, that's not a child. So, come on. I will electrify you with my gun of electrifying properties. In your alien face. So, I don't think we can destroy these plants. Yeah, I think we can, we can just incapacitate them for a bit while. And it's got our best pals here, the blue guys. So, So what we can do is we can just try and run away from them so they don't get close to, no, Number one rule of games that enemies spawn by scrolling. Only scroll over a little bit at a time, otherwise you'll get overwhelmed. There we go. Well, sandwich myself between those guys. That's very, very intelligent. There we go. Oh, more of these blue guys. My best pals. And blue dabba dee dabba die. Do you think when they play Pokemon Go they go Team Mystic? Oh, another one of these guys. So he's a different colour, he must be more difficult. So we just let him go. Whoa, that launched us right across the... Whoa. So we're running out of health there, let's call on the cavalry for a second. Let's try not to get launched again. So he's actually posing a little bit more of a challenge than he should. Mostly because I'm just getting a little bit on the defensive because of the health situation is a little bit on the low side. Oh, there we go. Whoa. Yeah, what the hell is that? Don't you dare. So, try not to... So, this thing isn't actually that difficult. It's just a case of being careful with it. Don't get greedy. Don't get impatient. And then we should be able to take this thing out. Whoa. It's got a lot of... His eyes are very one-sided as well. It's like, what, 5 eyes all on the left side? I'm trying to think what it can even be, really, when you think about it. It's just a weird... It's a weird cone shape. And it levitates as well. I wonder how... Has it got wings that we can't see? I'd be really curious to see what an HD remake of this game would look like, especially in terms of what the aliens would look like. Because his eyes are actually crossing quite a lot, it actually looks more stupid than it does threatening. There we go. Yes! So we'll take all of that, all the energy it stole off of us. And I'm just going to pause it there because I can see this episode's been running a little bit long. And also what we'll do is we'll chase whatever that floaty thing over there was in the next episode. So I've been Chastastic of Chastastic Gaming, and you have a fantastic day. Bye!